All right, guys, Kodiak Coos here, back on the old open road frontier. Ooh, look, cows, pretty neato. Black Angus, they taste pretty good. Love me an old cow. Yes, so that was very important. That's all I have to say. See you guys next week. JK, what are we doing today? We're really gonna dive deep into the history and functionality. Is that a word? Of the old M1 Garand, however you want to say it. I think actually John Garand, that's the guy who invented this weapon system, pronounced his name Garand, not Garand, but you know what? I'm not a mathematician, nor a scientist, nor a politician, so I guess there's not really any way to know. Actually, quite the history buff. Not going to get into what I do for a living, but if you know me, then I guess I have no excuse. I should know these things. So let's get to the old range and we'll really dive into things. Or we won't. No, he definitely will. Bye. Here's the car dealership in town. Looks like they're pretty overstocked right now. So that's good. I was kind of worried about that in case I need to purchase a new vehicular. However, I guess I don't. What is that? Oh, it's a tent. Do you think there's a human in there? Maybe. Okay, here we go. We need this. And where's the other one? We brought some other goodies. Oh. All right, guys, before we get into the M1 Garand, still haven't decided which one I'm going to roll with. Garand, sure. Let's get into the Mosin Nagant, okay? Now, set yourself back in the old 1930s, 1940s. In fact, this was actually used in the late 1800s. This is a bolt-action rifle, okay? You still see these today. This is what people hunt with, not the Mosin Nagant per se. However, bolt guns, pretty simple design, right? You essentially pop the bolt back, well, up, back, and this is your action. This is how you load one round into the chamber at a time, okay? Now this shoots the 7.62 by 54R. That is a big, hefty, big boy round, gangaroo. So to load this suckaroony, pull the bolt back. Put your round into the internal magazine and push this forward and push it down. This weapon system is hot. But this means that this weapon system is ready to fire, okay? It does have a safety on it. It's kind of a mother meower. You just plop her in like that, and she's ready to go. Okay, so at the end of the 19th century, so we're talking late 1800s, everybody and their mother wanted to come up with the best new rifle design for their military, for the cowboys, for whatever you call Russian cowboys. Don't know. Maybe one day I'll find out. But the Russian government came out with this. Excuse me. Yeah, they were the Russians. 1918s when they became the Soviets. Sorry, quick check on learning for myself. Good, and you. But anyways, they came out with this design, right? Bolt action. You can shoot pretty fast with it compared to a muzzle loader, you know, where you pour the powder in and you take the thingy out and you ram her home and then you pull the hammer back and kapow, and then you got to do that like, you know, fast, which fast was like a minute maybe, sure. Hashtag Minutemen, if you know what I'm talking about. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, guy. So anyways, the Soviets came out with this, right? This was the standard issue army rifle from like the late 1800s all the way up until the end of World War II, okay? If you guys ever seen the movie Enemy at the Gates, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then I don't know what to tell you. But anywho, let's give it a shoot and see how accurate it is, and we will compare it to the old M1 Garand. I got it. Yeah, okay, bye. Okay, so scenario. We're in Siberia. The year is 1943. We're up against the Nazis. Let's load this up. So it holds 5 rounds, internal magazine. You just put them in like such. Obviously, if we're in a firefight, I'm sure we're going to struggle way more than I am right now. And as you can see, I'm struggling, just like I did in the first grade. That's right. Got to bring that up every time. Boom. Ear Pro. Okay. Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you. Good and you. Okay, here we go. We're locked and loaded and ready to fire this 7.62 by 54R. That stands for Rugrats. It doesn't. I'm not sure what it stands for, but let's see what it does. Let's hit him again. Say that about my mom again. I don't think he's gonna say that about my mom again. We got one more. Take that, Nazi scum. Neat. All right, guys, so while the rest of the world had their fancy handy-dandy bolt guns, the U.S. in the 1930s designed this beautiful piece of machinery, the M1 Garand, right? Now this, unlike the standard bolt gun used by the Japanese, Russians, and practically everybody and their mother during the time period, had a gas-operated, semi-automatic rifle, right? So as fast as you pull the trigger, the fast, it's gonna shoot fast, sure. So to debunk a lot of people, right? For example, a lot of people say that the AR-15, right, the bad guy gun, is a military-grade weapon. It is not, because an AR-15 shoots semi-automatic, meaning, like I just said, as fast as you pull the trigger, the fast it's going to shoot. When a military-grade AR, the M4 A1, has fully automatic capabilities, which means you pull the trigger and it goes, right? Not to say, I mean, I was in the Army and I just don't see why you would ever use full auto on an M4 because you have machine gunners and stuff like that. But hey, I guess people that don't shoot guns and watch the news know more about guns than I do, because that makes sense, I guess. Sure, we'll go with that. But anywho, this one holds 8 instead of 5, like the Soviet Mosin Nagant or the German Kar 98 Mauser. And like, I don't know, there's like a million other bolt guns that everybody and their mother was using, like I said. But this one holds 8 and it could shoot faster, right? So, let's give it a shot. Also, I cleaned this the other day, so it should shoot good. Make sure you clean your guns and behind your ears. And just make sure you shower on a regular basis. Okay, now this has this weird type of clip, okay? That holds 8 rounds. If you guys want, there's a short I made where you can see how to load it. We'll load the clip. So, you don't want to get M1 thumb. What is M1 thumb?
Ouch.
Imagine if that was your thumb. You'd have a bad time. So, to avoid that, what you do is you you don't do that. Make sure it's locked all the way to the rear. Okay, so to avoid that, you kind of keep your hand pressed against this bolt and you're going to hold this back, okay? Because there's a button right here, okay? And once that button's pushed, this bolt is going to slide forward, right? You saw what it did to the pencil. Don't let that be your hand. You're going to kind of seat it in like that. You're going to place your hand to hold the bolt back. You're going to push. I can already feel the bolt start to go forward. You're going to release your thumb. Sometimes it gets stuck. No worries. Give her a love tap and you're G to G. That means good to go, guy. Okay, so always make sure your safety's on. I honestly really do not like the safeties on M1s. It's this weird little square thing, and you just push it forward. This weapon system is hot and ready to go. So, I guess we'll pepper that target some more, because fun. Excuse me. Misfire. So I'm loaded. Hold the bolt back. Nothing physically in the chamber. There's no clip in there no more. This weapon system is unloaded. Oh gosh, she's raining. It's okay. If it ain't raining, you ain't training. Okay, so the cons when it comes to a weapon system such as this, a semi-automatic, you get malfunctions, right? So there's a gas thing in here, right? I think this is a piston. Some guns have pistons, some just have like a gas port. Kind of like in a car, a piston moves with gas, right? You get it? So what that does is it pushes the bolt back every time you fire a round. So essentially, a round goes in the chamber, you fire it, round shoots out the barrel, hot gas goes into this tube, comes back, pushes the bolt back, ejects the shell, loads another one in, and you have 8 rounds to play with, okay? Or not really play with, but kill people that are trying to kill you, because dying is not fun. I would not want to die unless my ex-wife took everything, like the house and the kids. Nah, she really, I was never married. I probably shouldn't joke about that, but hey, dark humor is good sometimes, right? Good on you. So anyways, this was adopted in the 1930s by the U.S. Army. The Marines, they always get kind of garbage stuff, or not garbage per se, but older stuff, right? And then eventually they get the latest and greatest like everybody else. Sorry, my friends that are Marines. You know, it's funny, in the Army, I always thought our stuff was pretty beat up. And then I started meeting dudes that were Marines, and I just thought, wow, man, I'm sorry. Like, if our stuff was pretty dumpy, yours had to be even worse. But anywho, eventually they got the M1 Garand, and this was the iconic weapon system that quote-unquote won World War II, right? Think about it. You could throw more lead down range, quicker, faster, and yeah, just better technology, right? So let's shoot this son of a Ruski again. 8-round magazine. Give her a love tap. Normally the bolt goes forward, but sometimes it does that because aliens, UFOs, Bill Clinton maybe, I don't know. Take that, Bin Laden. Misfire. So we're in combat. Holy Guantanamo Bay. We're on Guantanamo Bay, by the way, for theatrical purposes. I got a jam. I got a malfunction. What do? Rack her back. Boom. Engage. Another malfunction. Not to worry. We're not really on Guantanamo Bay or Guadalcanal. Sure. Ping. Now, another thing to think about. Make sure you write this down or type it on your typewriter if that's your preference. These things eject these little tin, metallic-y, whatever they're made out of, clips, right? Now, if you notice, every time it ejects out of that weapon system, it makes that iconic. You probably didn't hear that, but it made a cool ping. Now, that does 2 things, good and bad. The good thing is it lets you know, like Sergeant Kodiak Coos, holy moly amount of rounds, right? So what do? You load another You load another clip. Sorry, there's always a big controversy. It's a clip, it's a mag. Technically, the magazine, which is what holds the ammo, is inside the rifle. The clip is this thing and it goes in it, but I'm not going to confuse anyone if you guys aren't familiar with firearms, but like an AR-15, M4, it's got an external magazine. You put it in, right? I'm not going to get into it. That's a video for another day. Oh boy, it's been raining a lot lately. This is not neat. But anyways, it tells you that you're unloaded, and what else does it do? It tells the Nazis, the Imperial Japanese, Bigfoot, whoever, it tells them that you're out of rounds. So a lot of times, what guys would do is they'd be out shooting at the bad guys, right, in a big old shootout on the Western Front, or Pacific Front, or, yes, but they would take an empty one of these, ping, they would make that noise. They would throw it. So what are the Nazis gonna do? They're gonna go, holy moly, in Guantanamo Bay, Batman, that Americano is out of rounds. I'm gonna shoot him. So the good old American boys would pop out, right? Because the Nazis or whoever thinks that they're out of rounds, and the Americans would shoot them, right? Little did they know they had a full eight round clip ready to go. So that's pretty neat. Food for thought, something to think about. Okay, so what's next, guys? Enjoy this cool montage of me shooting guns. Good on you. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to another fantastic adventure here on the Kodiak Coos channel. Hope you guys really liked it. Stay tuned. We got a lot of cool stuff planned. Squirrel hunting, deer hunting, some more fishing, a couple different challenges. We're going to get on the water a little bit more, hopefully, here. But anyways, make sure you guys smash that subscribe button, like our videos, and, of course, comment down below. Until next time, have a Kodiak Coos day.